Hey guys, Christina here. I wanted to give you a tour of our garden. It's been 6 weeks since we started putting stuff in, and thought I'd give you a look. It's just a big disappointment. I'll start off by saying that. We've just had such a hard time, and it's definitely not nutrient dense soil. It's not getting watered enough, which I'll show you and explain a bit more. I used to love gardening. I used to love coming outside and watering and gardening and picking things, and it's just not like that this year. It's a big struggle. There's a lot of things we should have done differently. We talked about just doing like a temporary garden on our front lawn here, actually on top of the septic, because that's supposed to be a really good area, and I can tell how quickly the grass grows that would have been a really good area for growing, but it's not flat. It's very like this, and we probably should have tried to just do it here anyways. But I don't know what we're gonna do with the garden come fall. I don't know what the plan is for the future, but I'll show you what it looks like right now and what's going on, and let's go take a look. So here's an overview. It really goes from being a soggy mess to being cracking dry. Like, it needs mulch, it needs cover, but we didn't have any more money this year, so this is what it is. So I'll go inside and I'll show you. So this first row here, hopefully the wind's not too loud. This is 2 different kinds of pumpkin. I had planted watermelon, a couple cantaloupe, and I'll just show you. These are ones I got on clearance just, I think, last week or so from the store. Pumpkins, so I put those in. One, I did have a watermelon there. It totally died. That's what my watermelon looks like that I started from seed. This one is another sugar baby watermelon. They're just absolutely tiny and they're struggling. This is, I think, yeah, there's 2 cantaloupes that kind of survived. They are so tiny. And they've got more pumpkins. The pumpkins are actually doing fairly well, both the ones I started from seed, and then ones that, this is one from seed that's doing quite well, considering. And these are ones I planted. They definitely need water. I need to water. The next row are peppers. This is a candlelight pepper. Look how small the plant is. Like, it's tiny, but they're blooming. They're just so stunted. So this pepper plant is absolutely tiny. A couple of them are flowering though. These are like pepper plants, like just regular peppers. There's a spider in there, but it's flowering as well. But again, like super tiny. So they all pretty much look like this. They're all very small. And then the 2 at the end here are ones that I got from someone. They were bigger when I put them in, and they are loving this heat. They're doing well. They're starting to grow. Like, this is all kind of new growth here. And then I have tomatoes and marigolds. This whole row here, and then this plus some a little further over. So this is one, again, someone gave me, and it's doing pretty well. I had one here that I was cutting some dead leaves off the bottom. My kids were arguing, and I kind of turned and I cut it, but I have it in the house, and I'll show you why after. But a couple of the marigolds are doing well. All the other ones, they're so small again. They're just so stunted. These are ones that were given to me. This one and this one here, versus like the one I had started off from seed in the house. They're just so tiny. Some of them are really struggling, which is too bad. Well, this one has a flower on it. At least that's progress, right? But they're so small, I worry about them producing already. So, yeah. And then over here, I have a celery that I had started from one in the store. And it grew really well inside. It's slowed down here though. Some cilantro, it's gone to seed. These are all little cilantros I direct sowed. They're doing okay. These are some other tomato plants that I got from that sale from the nursery. They're pretty small. And then actually, I planted so many sunflower seeds this year, like a couple hundred. And I finally have a couple, looks like they're coming up. But I've lost so many already, so hopefully they grow. So back over here, there's just the cilantro is absolutely tiny. I do have a few tomatoes and a couple plants. Like this one here. Oh no! Well, there goes that. Okay, so I can't touch them. That was like the biggest one too. These are flowering. And there are a few. There's one in here. I won't touch this one. Hopefully the camera will pick that up. I don't know if the camera's getting that. It's very, very bright. I know there's like one or two on here as well. You can see those, so. There are a few small tomatoes, but I mean, considering how many plants, there's hardly any. This is a row of onion bulbs that we planted. And yes, the row is totally crooked. They're actually doing pretty well. I'm surprised. So that's one thing that's done well. This is a row of lettuce. I planted part of it, and there's only a handful that have come up. And then 2 weeks later, I planted another portion of the row, and these ones, they've had quite a few come up, but they are so tiny. I mean, this has been over a week they've come up, and again, tiny. And then these are the, oh dear, what are they called? Kale plants I got. They're still alive. They're doing okay. They're doing all right. Most of this area is all empty. I had planted spinach, bok choy, carrots, oh, what else? And just nothing came up. They just didn't come up. So a lot of this is empty. I do have 3 rows of beets though. And there's 2 different kinds. And I don't know if you can see, but so they're doing okay. They're growing, but they're very, very slow. So I've got the 1, 2, 3 rows that go kind of to the marker there. This space over here is all empty. And then I have chives over here that are slowly growing. These are cucumber plants that I got from that nursery sale. Let's see, 1, 2, I think. These are ones I had started from seed. They're again so tiny, but they're starting to grow. So I don't know. This one over here is kind of funny. Not quite sure what's going on with that, but it's trying to grow. So these are cucumbers all the way to there. These were eggplant. They're struggling. They're not doing much. You can see there. And these were okra. They pretty much died. There's 1, 2 left that are sprouting in the hot weather now. But that's it for them. This really need more water. This one's not surviving. These are zucchini. Again, they're just really struggling. These are ones I got from the nursery. There's a few things trying to grow, so we'll see. We'll see. I did plant flowers all along here and outside the gate. And I don't know. I can't tell what's flowers and what's weeds. So that comes all the way over here. This is a zucchini that started from seed. It's so tiny still. Absolutely tiny. This is our corn patch. So yeah, I mean, I planted, like I had to go back a second time and fill in. We've got 2 different varieties here. I'm hoping we'll have enough that will grow to pollinate. But again, I mean, they're tiny, especially for how long they've been growing. I don't know if you can see there, halfway up my arm. These are snow peas. We planted these a little later. They've all done quite well. So happy about that all the way along here. And then on the other side, we have beans. And from here up, we had to replant them a second time. Most of them didn't come up, but now they're starting to come up. Same with the peas. We had a really hard time getting them to come up. Had to plant them a second time, but we're finally getting some growth on them. And then over here, this row here is carrots. And again, I think it's just been too dry. They just have not come up. I haven't seen anything. Those were planted, I think, a week ago. And then over here, these are more carrots. I don't really see any coming up either. So 2 full rows of carrots, again, haven't come up. Over here is Bok Choy, and they are coming up. They're struggling. They've got holes in them, and there's some, but they're really struggling. The next one is spinach, and I think it's hard to tell in the early stages. I think there might be a few. Some of them look like grass, so not sure. And then this row here is green onions. I don't see any yet. So then we're back to where there's some sunflowers growing. And I planted like a couple sunflowers over here, but I don't see any popping up yet. So let me show you the water we've been using. We have this spring over here. And it's been a very laborious job watering. We have to have like 1 person or 2 people over here filling like 1 watering can that we have, or another bucket and bringing it to me. It takes a very long time. And I mean, this water is like dripping out now. It was just pouring most of the time, but it's been so dry. That's all we're getting. So I'm gonna have to start watering with the well, which is a little disappointing. I ended up putting wheat seeds all along here, just throwing them, seeing if they would plant. Who knows? I don't know. But that's what the garden's looking like. So it's all very empty, very short, very stunted. But maybe we'll get a few things. I'm not sure. I did leave like this growing here just because the weeds have flowers on them, and at least there's something to bring bees in, because there's really not much around to bring bees in. We do get lots of butterflies though. That's the garden. I should show you too, like the trench that we dug around. It's not perfect because this ground is just so rocky and so hard, but at least when it pours, it keeps some of the water from pooling in the garden, because it just swamps the garden. My husband's got the radio on, but I wanted to show you, because this is a kale I decided to keep up here on our deck, and these are Bok Choy that I planted a couple days after those other ones in the garden, and you can see what a big difference it makes. So much better here. Flowers I got on clearance. This is wild mint that we found and planted here. Strawberries have done amazing. Blackberry is pretty slow to grow, but it's definitely grown. Some more mint, strawberries. This is a planter we got on clearance. These are more strawberry plants. Raspberries, we've got raspberries growing. These are doing well up here. Lots of runners, and we've been eating juicy strawberries from here. So they've done really, really well. This is cat grass for a cat. So here's the tomato plant that I accidentally chopped. I had seen, actually, probably just a week or so before that happened, that you can put it in water and it will regrow roots. And so that's what I've done. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try and get some decent soil in another pot and keep it up here on the deck. I mean, it's, as long as it transplants okay, it could definitely grow some tomatoes for us. So it's pretty amazing. This had none of this on it before. And it's been a week and that's how much it's grown. So there's a look at our 2022 garden about 6 weeks after we started to put things in. Maybe I'll link up top. You can go see our previous gardens. They don't always turn out like this. It's just been such a disappointment. You know, we made mistakes, we know that. I do fertilize and try and add what I can. I have some like fishbone meal and stuff. I've always put eggshells in the garden, things like that, as we use them. But it is what it is. You know, the trees in the front, they were dead. They were starting to break from the top, so they needed to come down. That was a safety issue, but should we not have cleared the rest of the land right now? Should we not have cleared as much of it? Should we have cleared it but not put the garden there this year? Because ideally what needs to happen is it needs to be leveled from the back and then the ditch needs to be completed, which it's not. So maybe we will move it and prep a smaller area somewhere else for next year, and then we'll have all next year to work on it. I don't know. I just hope I get some food out of it and we can figure out solutions. Definitely, that's what I'm hoping. So if you have any advice for me, I would love it. Leave it in the comment section down below. And otherwise, I hope this finds you having a great day. Take care.